So today we're going to be looking at our brand new Microcare 5 kilowatt 400 volt MPPT. You're familiar with our MPPTs. You've got the little baby one, this little 10 amp over here. He's a real star. And if you're new to solar, interested in learning a little bit about it, I would recommend getting one of these bad boys. A little 100 amp hour battery, maybe a 100 watt panel or something like that. And learn how he takes solar panel power and converts it into battery power that we can use. So that's really the heart of it. These days the MPPTs don't really get much of a hero's welcome because they're sort of stuck inside the inverters, but Microcare keeps them separate because that improves the efficiency of their performance. So you're used to our standard 100 amp MPPT. I've got a big boy over here for you. This is our big one, 100 amp MPPT. He can handle strings of 150 volts. We'll have a look at him in a moment. And then in front of you, we've got our brand new 5 kilowatt. This is the big boy over here, and he can handle strings of 400 volts. So let's have a look at the difference between these two products. Essentially, they can handle almost the same amount of power, except this new guy, he can handle a little bit more and he's far more efficient. So let's pick a typical panel, 550 watt, very common on the market, open circuit voltage of around 49. We could summarize that to 50 if it wanted to make your maths easier. So let's look at that panel for both of these controllers. Firstly, the 100 amp, the first one I showed you, he's got a string limitation of 150 volts. So you can see if I put 49 volts per panel, if I put 3 of these panels in, I'm very close to 150 volts, and we don't really want to run too close to that. In fact, we'd like to keep him a little bit cooler. So the recommendation is only 2 panels of the 550 in series. So that'll give us 49 and 49. That's pretty much the max that we'd like to see in a string using this 550 watt panel. A few years ago we were using 300s and 340s, so it's changed a little bit now. So this guy's had to adapt a little bit, and so we're not recommending more than 2 panels in a string. So there's that one side, the voltage string. There's also now a wattage limitation. If I take 100 amp and I'm using a 52 volt battery, typical lithium ion of 51.2, then I'm limited to 100 times 52, 5.2 kilowatts of panels. So if I've got 550 watt panels, you can see that I'm not going to be able to put 10 panels because 10 times 550 is 5.5 kilowatts. That's already over the limit of what he can handle. So my limitation here is going to be 4 strings of panels. So these are all going to be connected in series, and they're going to go into my MPPT, my 100 amp MPPT. So that's pretty much my limit. And if I do a quick little sum here for you, the 8 panels is 4.4 kilowatts, and my strings limitation is 98. That's pretty much as we'd like to push that little guy. This guy now, he's essentially our mini grid MPPT. We've taken that big one that you see on the wall in some of our other videos. He can handle 10.5 kilowatts of solar, and we've chopped them in half. And he's now in some ways the same as our little 100 amp, except he can do a lot more. And let's have a look at that, because now his limitation is 400 volts. So if I'm using a 49 volt panel, I can just keep on going until I get to that 400 volt limit. But there is that other limitation, of course. Voltage is one, the other one is the wattage. All right, he's still only a 5 kilowatt MPPT. In fact, he can handle a little bit more. The technical guys here at Microcare will tell you that he can handle 2.7 kilowatts per string, and probably a bit more, but that's the comfortable range because it's just a different design. He's newer technology. So 2.7 per string, I can do that maths quite easily. 2.7 times 2 means I can put 5.5 kilowatts of solar panels. That makes my maths really easy, hey? How many of those panels? That's going to be 10. And in this scenario, 10, I want to put 2 strings of 5. I can't put 10 in a row because 10 times 49 is going to push me over the 400 volt limit. So it's going to be 5 in a string and 2 strings of panels. And look at the difference here, eh? Now I'm able to get 5.5 versus the 4.4. I'm able to get another 2 panels in there, and then of course you can see that the installation is going to be a lot easier. I've got far less strings that I have to worry about now. I've got only 1 positive and 1 negative string to worry about in this whole setup. So that's why this is a bit of a game changer. He's already got a combiner box built in. He can add a bit more power per string, and the voltage then means that it's an easier installation. So this is the one you want to start considering now. As the panels get bigger, look at the new Microcare 5 kilowatt MPPT. Its string limitations of 400 volts. Contact the sales team today to find out more about this new product.